As much as I love Jiffy cornbread, if you're looking for the perfect cornbread recipe made from scratch that's easy and foolproof, this is your recipe. Go ahead and take this recipe and make it your own because it's moist with a tender crumb that the crust on the outside is so crisp. This will become your go-to recipe. So let's get started with these ingredients. So recipe is super simple. We'll need just a medium mixing bowl. We're going to mix 1 cup of flour and 1 cup of cornmeal. And you know what? If we haven't met yet, my name is Jennifer. And on this channel, we are restoring the home by bringing back the basics, starting with the kitchen, with recipes, gardening, and all things home. So be sure you hit subscribe so we can learn together. Back to our recipe, we're going to need 1 1/2 cups of buttermilk. If you do not have buttermilk, don't you worry. All you need is milk. And then to that, you're going to add about a teaspoon of either lemon juice or you're going to add vinegar. And we're just going to set that aside while we let that curdle. Now, the argument in the South is, do you add sugar to your cornbread? I do. I like it. If you don't, omit it. I'm adding about 1/4 cup of brown sugar. If you don't want it that sweet, you can add about 2 tablespoons. Next, our buttermilk has been ready. You're just going to pour that right in. So what you're looking for with your buttermilk is for it to curdle some. This does not mean you use sour milk. You're making the curdle yourself. So this is fresh milk made with lemon juice, and it's going to add so much flavor to any meal that you add this to. Next, we are going to add 2 eggs. I just separated them into a separate cup just to pour them in to make sure there's no eggshells. I'm going to whisk this around really, really good. We want to incorporate the egg because you don't want any eggy pieces in your cornbread. Once this is mixed in, next we will add melted butter. You can also use Crisco or bacon grease. If you do use the bacon grease, it can get a little salty, but you'll add about 1 stick of butter. Now I'm going to take me a large spoon and just add about that much of my Crisco to a hot cast iron skillet. And I'm just going to rub this around just to kind of get a head start on its melting. This is going to cook our cornbread when we add it to the pot. You can see it on the rims, how it's just automatically sizzling and it's cooking. This is what you want to get that crispy crust. In a preheated oven to about 400 to 425 degrees, you're going to cook this for about 20-25 minutes. Now this just depends on your oven, and my oven gets pretty hot, so I only do it to about 400 degrees. But you are going to cook this until it is springy to the touch, but nice and golden on top. This is a perfect dinner staple, but if you are looking to make this recipe for stuffing or dressing on the holidays, you can just leave this out on the counter overnight so that way it can become slightly stale. This way it will soak up more of the moisture because this is a very moist cornbread. With that being said, all right, friends, this is ready. And you can see the springiness. You'll just kind of touch it and you can see how it springs back, how it has a nice golden color. Now you'll want to let this cool for about 5 minutes before you cut it up. And I usually just cut it up just like a pie, especially when I make it in the cast iron skillet. But here it is plated up, and this is so delicious. Look how moist it is. The crumb is beautiful, but then that outside crust is just, look at that. It's so delicious. I make cornbread when I make fried chicken or chili, and that sweetness of it just is so delicious. And let me know in the comments if you have the great debate of adding sugar or not adding sugar. That is the question. Hit thumbs up for me if you like this recipe, and let me know in the comments if you do make this cornbread and tell me what you think. I'll see you in the next video.